Here is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of March 2nd through the 6th. I will go over 5 tickers on the 5-minute time frame and give you some price targets for Monday, and also have a gap recap from February 23rd through the 27th and update the chart as well. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is Boeing. We ended the week at $227.53, down 0.82%. To the north side takes us to one level of resistance and a potential take profit area, and that is roughly 228.16. And above that, this gap, which lands at 4 standard deviations, closes out at roughly 229.25. Now to the south side, that would take us to 2 standard deviations, and that is roughly 227.08, the middle of the trend and the baseline. Another level of support, potential buy-in area, takes us to roughly 224.92. Below that, 222.71, 221.68. This is another potential buy-in area as well as potential stop-loss area, and roughly 220.60. Now let me just move this over and, oh, that's why I'm a little off. There we go. Now looking left, last week this line here was Friday to Friday, and you can see we closed out this gap. Let me fix that. Touched right there on Thursday, took us down to 227.39 in an expected move. So congrats if you went short and you made some money there. Look at that. That started on Friday the 9th-ish. Okay, I will delete the price labels to note that it is done, played out. Look at this. We went up, fell back down, had our moments of resistance, and now we are giving it all back. But basically, we filled that gap, and that's good. But we have plenty of other gaps to the downside if you like to go short. And let's go back to the chart from the week of the 20th. So we started here. Here's your clear resistance line, your clear resistance line here as well, clear support, resistance. If you just play these lines, it kind of gives you an idea of where direction might be going. And note here, we closed out that gap, almost here, but we closed it here. And now we have a gap to look forward to the upside, but we are already frothy here. I think we will touch it and maybe close it, but definitely the outer bands will take us there and then continue our downward channel because we are still in a downward channel on the 5. But watch out, we are at resistance. And then obviously we could hit support and then bounce up again to try to close out this gap, this hole right here. And let me just do one thing. Let's go to the daily. Oops, stay on page. See how many times I've tracked this. I'm still in it for my mom, but it's hard to see because of the lines. I just wanted to show you how long I've tracked this. And the RSI right here is still going down. Okay, and let's move it back to the 5. It's a hot mess looking at, but every line represents something, and maybe one day I will delete those lines, but not right now. Too lazy. All right, the next one is Tsly. We ended the week at 32.35, down 1.40%. Now, this is where we are. Resistance takes us to roughly, You know what? I'm going to turn on my magnet. 32.58. We could hit that and then fall down. We are still in a downward channel. The gap begins here at 33.31, closes out at basically 2 standard deviations, 33.59. Another level of resistance, another potential take profit area, another potential sell limit order, 34.07, because that's what I do, 34.55. And let's move this back to Friday. There we go. Where is that? Oh, no wonder I'm off here. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. What I did was, this is for this gap. Let's put that back. All right. This is where we are. Okay, to the south side, -2 standard deviations takes us to 31.63, 31.13, and another potential buy-in area, a potential stop loss area, 30.65. I don't expect to go beyond that. And looking left, this is still in play, taking us down to 32.03. And what happened the previous week? So we started here at 33.62, hit resistance. That's telling you your radar should go off. We could, yes, take it to the outer bands, which it hit here, and then bounced again off of that, and then started to fall apart. Okay, so your signals are there telling you to watch out. If you're trying to get in, get up, get out. So we had this gap that closed to the upside, taking us to 33.69. We have this gap that closed on Tuesday, taking us to 33.15. And this one, 33, I have to hit it on a certain spot. 33.40 also took us to Tuesday, the 24th, and closed out. And this baby one touched right here on Thursday. That took us to 33.38. We had 1, 2, 3 gaps that you could have played for what I consider is pretty easy money if you just track it. And then this one opened up, and Friday, yeah, I deleted a line for my thumbnail right there. And it looks like there's one missing right here. I can see the gaps and see that something is off, and it was. All right. We have something to look forward to up here down the road. All right, taking us to 37.35. But right now we are still in a downward channel on the 5. Let's go to the next one. Rivn. Okay, we're at 15.33. Oh, I could use some more coffee. 15.33 down 1.79%. To the north side, resistance 15.64. That's 2 standard deviations. Actually, no. What am I saying? 2, 3, and where's the white line? Why is it missing? Oh, that is the white line there. There we go. Now I'm seeing it. Red, white, and blue. Boy, I really need to get some coffee. So let's try that again to give you targets here. Red. See, this is why I've color-coded this way so I can find it easier. 15.65. Should I say easily? But it wasn't easy. 15.79 and 15.94. The middle of the trend is that green line. Let's mark it out and then delete the one below it because we're very close. That was the previous week. Basically, look at this. We went down, we went up, down, and basically back at where we started from the prior week. So let's delete this line, which shows me that's the middle of the trend. And voila, we're back at it. Where's my garbage? There we go. All right, to the south side, 1506. 1492 and the blue line 1477. This was an old price target that we already hit. Now looking left, what happened? We started here as I mentioned. So we have this gap still in play taking us to 1403. This gap, oops, option R. Oops, what am I doing? Delete, not delete, this is reset. Okay, I accidentally. Let's try this again. So we have this gap in play, taking us down to 1403. This gap taking us to 1611 is still in play, looking forward to that. And then 1555, let me make this bigger so it doesn't get wonky on me. Touched, I'll give it right there, on Wednesday the 25th. Delete. Okay, and then we have other landmines to the south side, excuse me, to watch out for. And this one to the upside, not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. All right. Oh, let's clean up this one. Let's move this out of the way. The 1648 right here closed, and I never went back to clean this up. It touched right there, so congrats. It touched on Wednesday, January the 21st, took us down to 1684 right there. Delete. All right, everything else looks good. Oh, and I want to show you one other thing. So we're just kind of grinding sideways here on Rivn. By the end of the week, here's the red, here's the white, here's the blue line. The end of the week, we could, on the outer bands, end at 1594. And to the south side, yeah, the lines are hard to see here. There's the red. I have to make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's difficult to see. I'll show you an example on another ticker where this thing isn't looking like a hot mess. All right. Watch out for the landmines to the south side, though. Retracing to levels in 2025 there. The next one is Nike. This is easier to demonstrate because I haven't marked it up like crazy. It's just because with Rivn, we've been grinding in the same areas, so I have a lot of lines that I should be removing and have not. So is this correct? I just want to make sure I have this on the right line. First, your price targets. So we are at 62.18, down 2.77%. This is the middle of the trend, very close to this line. So I will delete this line, and that I marked out on the Friday, the 13th. And basically we're back at that spot. So let's delete this line. So that's from where we are, that's very close. We're at resistance. Could go sideways, or for the next leg up, 63.64. This gap closes out at 63.89, 64.32, 64.92. To the south side, because there's always a south side, 61.06. Always an opportunity to dollar cost average or buy in for a pullback. 60.40, 59.77. Now what I was trying to show you for Rivn, which was hard to see all the lines, is we're here. By the end of the week, because we're still in a downward channel, this gap could close. But our outer bands, 58.17, 57.53, 56.88, which would take this out. And that would take us down to 57.39. Oops. Now, looking left, however, what happened? We were here, fell all the way down here, and remember, the calculations through TradingView on the linear changes and updates itself. So at one point this was -2, but now it's -4, and then it slammed down. So we went sideways. On the way up, that's resistance, grinding this along this line, and then we shot up. That's resistance as well. That's the middle of the trend where price slices through to get to the upside, or if we're on the upside, to the downside, but always staying along this line or one of these lines. And 65.28 is another gap to look forward to. So we hit resistance. Here's your sell signal, grinding down, and then this is, we got slammed down, so that created the gap. This is support. We busted right through to another level. So sometimes that's why you hit a sell order, your stop loss, then, you know, depends on how tight or loose you set it, that you want to get out. This is going to take us down to 61.17. All right, next. Oh, what is to the north side? Nothing. Nothing yet. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. What's this one? Did that touch? Yeah, it touched right there. That's done. All right, option R to reset. Let's do the last one, which is Neo. Then I'm going to go get some coffee and maybe some lunch. Hope you guys had a good week. All right. 487. Now resistance will take us to there, which is very close to this line. So why don't I just go ahead and get rid of it? Oh, that I marked out a long time ago. I don't even know when. This is how long I've been tracking this. Maybe I'll show it to you on the daily so you can see it better. But to the north side takes us to a gap fill, basically at 2 standard deviations, 502. Above that, that gap closes at roughly 507, but technically, excuse me, 3 standard deviations takes us to 508 and 514. To the south side, another level of resistance, 480, 473, and 468. Let's clean this up. This will take us to roughly 508. Change the color to represent to the upside. Looking left, what happened? We were up here slowly grinding down along this line, along this channel, and there was a gap that opened and closed right there on Thursday the 26th. Congratulations if you went short and you made some money, because we went up to go back down again. But that's resistance. That's your sell signal, even though on the way, if we're up and on the way down, that turns into support. But because we were down here, that turns into resistance. Support, resistance, support, resistance. That's all you need to know. Figure out where your support line is and where is resistance. That will help protect your capital. All right, that's going to take us down to 476, 473, 444, and I think that might be it. Now, oh, we've got this opportunity gap way down the road. Not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. And on the 5, we are still in a downward channel. Oh, so for next, by the end of the week, if we continue down, the outer band could take us to 418 and 464. Now, just for giggles, let's take a look at this on the daily. You can see how long I've been looking at this ticker. It's kind of crazy. I don't know why I do it. I'm a glutton for punishment. Okay, so that. Oops, let's just leave it alone. But you can see now we are going down on the RSI. So there's some bleeding out to still do. All right, let's go back to the 5 and call it a day. And I'm going to go over a couple of other tickers. And let's see, it's going to be, oh, wait a minute. I'm just looking at my phone so I can quickly look at this. So I'm going to go over IONQ, well, I already did that one, RGTI, and I did that one, QS, QUBT, and SOUN for Brian, or Bryant. Okay, that does it for me. Have a great trading week.